Well, good morning. We're doing a little bit of a late video today. Had an early appointment and didn't get to do my video this morning, but I did say we're going to do one every day. So this is day two. Day two, and we're already having struggles, but we're going to go ahead and do our best to make it forward. So continuing what we started yesterday, we talked about Matthew 1 yesterday. So today, obviously, we're going to go to Matthew 2. Now, if unfortunately doing it this way, my video, I don't have the ability to attach the Bible, although maybe I can add it afterward. But Matthew 2, we're not going to obviously read through it. But if you read through the story, it is the story of the rest of the story of Jesus' birth and how King Herod tried his best to get to Jesus because he heard the story. And he basically tried to trick the wise men. The wise men didn't fall for it. They told what was happening. Joseph had a dream. He was told to leave. Herod was obviously very wroth, put his wrath out on his countrymen. And then eventually Joseph was told that Herod had died. Those that came to Those that came to seek and to kill you, are dead. So it's safe for you to come back. And I say all that, and I mean we can read through it but take the time to read through Matthew 2, and you'll see the story. But the key thing I would want you to take out of it is, again, I like to cross-reference. Remember, the Bible tells us, if God be for us, who could be against us in Romans? And think about that today. Think about whatever demons you feel like you're facing, whatever struggles you've got coming down the pipeline, whatever difficulties that you're dealing with. If God's for you, who could be against you? Remember, the king wanted this baby dead. The king. Imagine the most powerful, one of the things I've been joking around with my kids is the idea, or at least a couple of them, was the idea of the Marvel movies, which were the superhero stories, the Iron Man and the Incredible Hulk and the Guardians, and some of them are Spider-Man, and some of them are powers because they have mystical powers. Others, are humans, and they made things like Iron Man made his equipment and everything and was able to do great things because of the stuff that he built. But you think about the fact that they're up against super villains. You think about in these movies that they've had like one main villain, maybe two. That's the main bad guy, the ultimate bad guy. And everybody around him is nervous or scared or worried about losing to these people. It's like, oh no, these people are going to take over the world, or they're going to kill the superhero, or they're going to do something negative. They're going to do something negative to ruin things. And what you come to find out at the end of the movie, with the exception of one of the Marvel movies, is at the end the good guys end up winning. Now, obviously, it's a story, it's make-believe, fairy tale, whatever term you want to use. In the Christian's life, God is ultimately going to get the victory. Now, how that victory looks will be different in everybody's life. It doesn't mean that it's always going to be sunshine and rainbows, so to speak. Your victory may come at a cost, may be a difficult thing that you have to go through. But like the Bible, the song that, you'll be tried as fire, you'll come forth as gold. And ultimately our life, we don't live it for ourselves. We don't live it to get our own glory. We don't live it to get, riches and fame and shall we call it worldly success. Our success is going to be in eternity. We'll find that success in eternity. So even though it seems like so much negativity is happening around you, or so much difficulty seems to exist around you and in your life, know that ultimately God's going to get the victory. He's going to get the glory. as long as you are doing your best to serve him and to glorify him, you may have difficult times. God never said it would be easy. God never promised ease. He never promised smoothness. He never promised and I know undifficult is not the word. He never promised ease. And sometimes we think, we look at some of the things that are proclaimed and preached out there. Just believe in positivity and it'll work out for you. It doesn't. There's no promise of that. There are missionaries who gave their lives, Christians. We hear the stories of folks that spend their whole entire lives in ministries, and they see, as far as humans would say, very limited, quote, success. They don't see the wealth. They don't see the prosperity. But they see a couple souls saved. They see lives changed. And, there are ministries that are thousands of people, huge. I'm not here to question those ministries as a bulk. I don't think you can. We don't know the heart of the people that work in those ministries or the people that attend and serve in those ministries. But remember, when we go to church, it's not about us. It's about him receiving praise, him receiving glory. And in ministry, it's the same way. And guess what? Every one of us is called to minister. Every one of us is called to do some kind of service. And when we do that service, there's no guarantee of ease. There's no guarantee of applause. There's no guarantee of wealth that comes with it. Your ministry, you just may see the end result is, maybe you don't see anybody saved, but you see a young person whose life is dedicated to the Lord. There's no promises, and sometimes we make up these promises in our head. Or you see honestly, there are churches out there that preach a wealth of prosperity is what you've heard. Believe it and you can achieve it. Okay, maybe in the work ethic, you can believe that you're gonna, you can achieve great things. That's fine and dandy. But understand, God never promised that. So with that said, my challenge to you today is, it's easy for me to say the words, don't be discouraged, because I don't know what you're dealing with. I don't know what difficulty you're facing. I don't know what heartache you're dealing with. Maybe you're dealing with a lost loved one. Maybe you're dealing with a relative that's passed away, or a friend. Maybe you're dealing with a sickness. You've gotten the what's the word? The doctor, is called and told you that you've got a short term to live, or you've got a very a disability or a disease that's just going to be something that impacts the rest of your life. And I'm not here to make it sound like, it'll be great, it'll be wonderful. No. But God doesn't say, serve him unless you've got a terminal illness. Serve him unless the money's not there for it. Serve him unless it's raining outside. And it's a conviction to me too, because there's more that I can do. And there may be more that you can do. But as we go through our trials, as we go through our difficulties, or as we go through life, just remember, God never promised ease. Look at Joseph and Mary and the baby, and understand they weren't ever promised ease. And she was giving birth to the Messiah. I think there would have been something inside of her that said, yeah, he's going to be great, but that doesn't mean everything for us is going to be great, because they knew what was expected of the Messiah. And for those that thought he was coming to be a king over that present day, that's not what they got. They got the future king, the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. So, anywho, I hope this will be an encouragement to you, at least for the rest of your day. Thank you so much for tuning in, and take care. God bless.